So I decided to go ahead and keep the ZVE-10. I'm not really sure why, but it's become a pretty good little camera for what I use it for. You know, when you're just around shooting videos like this, it's kind of stupid, no point videos. It's nice to have a camera that you can just take out with you and don't have to worry about the autofocus, don't necessarily have to worry about the settings too much. Just kind of let the camera do all the work. And the ZVE-10 has become that for me. Like, I don't always want to have to pull out the, the big guns, the A7 IV, the A7S III, every time I just want to shoot a little video like this. I mean, just a kind of off the cuff, informal video. And the ZV-1, it does a really good job at videos like this, but it's just, I don't know, there's something missing about it that I found in the ZVE-10. And the Fuji, the autofocus just isn't good enough to be able to set it on a tripod and kind of forget about things. I had the 10 to 18 Sony f4 Sony lens with the image stabilization, and I went ahead and sent that back because they had the Tamron 10 to 20 on sale for less than that Sony lens. And I it's 2.8, has a little bit wider range, so I went in and picked that up. It doesn't have image stabilization in it, but the ZVE-10, I've decided that you're just gonna have to live with whatever the camera can do with active stabilization, which isn't much most of the time. Try to keep your shots on a tripod as much as you can. And if you're moving around a little bit, go ahead and use the Catalyst browse software. With this 10 to 20 f2 Tamron lens, I went ahead and picked up this little Sigma 18 to 50. And this become just you stick this on your camera and you're like, oh man, that is so small and so powerful little lens. It has a nice zoom range. I wish it was a little bit wider on the wide end, but man, just for such a small little lens like that, you really can't beat it. And also, if you ever want to do any portraits or anything, I'm carrying around this Sigma 56mm lens, and this little lens is really outstanding. If you've never tried it, I mean, you should try it. I mean, it's so small and so lightweight. And some of the pictures you can get with it are just dynamite, Oftentimes with a little bit APS-C camera, you're looking for a lens that just kind of, when the photos and the videos just kind of set you back a little bit. And those are kind of hard to find, but this 56mm Sigma is one of those lenses. I mean, you can get some shallow depth of field with it. You have to be really careful with that because sometimes you can blow out the background too much. And it's just sharp as a tack. And super light. I mean, you really can't beat this if you want to, up your game a little bit in the APS-C world. I can fit all that stuff in this little Peak design. I think it's a six liter bag, and it all fits in there real nice and tight, compact. But I think I'm going to try to do a video later on with just a 2-lens setup that I think is just really good setup to use when you're out shooting. Let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see a 2-lens setup for the ZVE-10. Today I'm shooting with the newest little Sony microphone, what is it called? The 10, I don't know, the new wireless one they have come out, ECM B10, I think. So we have that going today. I don't know how it's going to be. It's a lot smaller than what I'm used to. And that's one of the primary reasons that I wanted to check it out, because it's a lot smaller. The wind muff is just not as big. Even the Rode Video Micro, when you got that thing on there, it just sticks out like a sore thumb. And then plus this thing, you don't have to use any cords or anything. It just feeds right into your feed, your video feed. So I'm pretty stoked about that and this and that, and seeing what the results are going to be like. So since this video just become a camera discussion, let's go ahead and talk about the Fuji XH2S. If you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you know that Fuji holds a place near and dear to my heart for sure. And I watched a ton of videos about that camera. And I've had it in the cart a few times here and there, and just always kind of got cold feet. If somebody was to come to my house and just want to trade me one for one all my Sony stuff for all my Fuji stuff, give me the XH2S, all new Fuji gear, all this and that, I'd probably go ahead and do that trade. The camera looks that good. But to me, it's just not worth selling a bunch of gear, taking a loss on all that gear to fund an XH2S purchase. It's just not. And from what I can tell, they really improved the autofocus of that camera, as long as you have the right lenses. Any new lenses made in the past few years, I think will do good. The autofocus will be fine. You'll be more than happy with the camera. But if you have any of the older lenses that you plan to use on the XH2S, you know, that you might have been using with the XT3, XT2, you know, some of the more telephoto lenses, you know, maybe a little bitty Fujichrome lenses, like that big, the F2 lenses, I call them. I don't know that they're going to be doing that good in autofocus. I just don't think that they were built for that kind of speed. And I don't think they can keep up with the XH2S. I think that the autofocus is going to be really lens dependent on that camera. And if you don't have any of the new ones, I think you may be disappointed in the autofocus. And I think that's why you see reviews all over the board. You see some people raving about the autofocus, and then you'll see the very next review complaining about the autofocus. And you're like, well, which is it? You know, well, if you really take a deeper dive into what they're using, it's the lenses. Any of the newer lenses will be fine. The older lenses can't keep up because they're not meant for the speed like that. But I think it's going to be a great camera for the future as Fuji introduces more lenses and updates their current lineup. I think it'll be great for camera in the future when there's more faster autofocusing lenses available. But for right now, I just don't think the time is right for me. Another thing I'll say is, one of the main reasons that would even compel me to use an APS-C camera is to save on weight and cost. But with the SH2S, I don't think you're saving much of anything on either one of them. The camera's $2,500, and that's about the same as the A7 IV, and it's the same size and weight. So I don't think you're saving any amount of money or weight when you use that camera against a full frame camera. For now, I'm just going to stick with my XS10, and I want to just go around and shoot some quick pictures and maybe a few videos here and there. But for the most part, I'm just going to stick with Sony for now. It's just, once you get a decent lens lineup built, it's really hard to jump ship. Even though I wish Sony would do a lot of things different. I wish they'd come out with a better APS-C camera. I wish they would update the A7S III with a lot of new features. I don't know, they just don't seem to be doing that stuff. But once you kind of get stuck into a certain lens selection, get so far down a rabbit hole as far as accessories and stuff like that, it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to switch, even though some of those new cameras be looking nice and shiny though. Anyway, kind of a random little video there. I don't know, just a little bit of a camera talk. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.